It's springtime here in Emmett, Idaho. I'm Karla Kimball, and I'm here today to share with you my recipe for garden fresh herbed cream cheese, which I will use to make an appetizer tray for you. I came up with this recipe when I was doing a garden party last summer, and it was a real hit, and I've been craving it all winter. And I've just been out to my garden and gathered some fresh herbs. I've got some chives, which I've washed, some thyme, and some fresh lemon balm, and some curled parsley. It just needs 2 tablespoons of each one, so you can just kind of decide what 2 tablespoons is, and that is what you use. And I'll use the leftovers for some garnish and toppings. All right, we've got our fresh herbs all chopped, and I'm zesting my lemon. You want to use a nice big lemon, and you want all the zest. And I love my zester. It makes this so easy to do. We've got that all on there, and I'll cut my lemon, and we're going to squeeze the juice from the whole lemon out. The lemon is what makes this dip so good. And I like to use my juicer because it catches the seeds and they don't end up in there where I don't want them. Okay, we're going to dump in our cream cheese. I've got 2 blocks of Philadelphia cream cheese here. One of them is the regular and one is the 1/3 less fat. Doesn't matter, you could use both of the same kind or whatever. I just thought, well, we'll cut back a little bit on the fat. I'm going to put in a cube of butter, a 1/2 cup. I'll dump in my fresh herbs and my lemon peel. And I love these little mats to chop on because then I can transfer it to the bowl so easily. Okay, I'm going to dump in my juice of my whole lemon. And then I've got some granulated garlic that I'm going to, I don't have fresh basil or dill in my garden yet, but I dried some last year. So I've got about 1.5 teaspoons of each of those I'm going to add, and some salt and pepper. About 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Got it all in there, and we are ready to start mixing. All right, we've got it all mixed in together here. Got a fairly nice consistency. If you did want it to be a little bit thinner, according to what you're doing with it, you may want to add more lemon juice. Probably up to the juice of a whole lemon if you wanted it really, but I like this consistency. So I'm going to start by making a pinwheel sandwich for you today, appetizer. And we'll just cover the tortilla with the spread. Make sure you get clear out to the edges so it kind of holds the pinwheel in shape. It's kind of our glue. I'm going to start with some really thin sliced cucumbers. I used my mandolin to slice these really thin. I left just a little bit of the rind on to give it some color. I'm going to put in some spring lettuce. I've got some really thinly sliced celery. So we're going to dress it up with some color. We've got some finely grated carrots. This is the finest grate on my grater. I've got some mini peppers, some red and orange and yellow that I've thinly sliced on my mandolin as well. Add those in. Peppers give it a little bit of crunch and just a good flavor. And finally, some little green onions. Once you get everything in there, you'll start rolling it up. And you want to get it really tight so that it'll stay in your round. Real tight roll. And then I cut the ends off just to get them squared up and flat because there's nothing in those end pieces. And I cut about an inch, inch and a half slice, depending on who you're serving might determine the size of your slice. For kids, I do them a little smaller. And there you've got some cute little pinwheel sandwiches. I'm going to put a toothpick in to help hold them. Hang them up on our tray. And there you've got some yummy pinwheels. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is garnish some crackers with my spread. I've got just a quart-sized freezer bag with my tip inserted in the corner. Just a little snip and in it went. I'm going to put it over my cup so that I can fill it with my spread. Get it down in there. To go. And I've got a variety of crackers here, and you can just swirl them up. And then I've got some celery here, and I'm just going to fill the center. Some of those. It's yummy on celery. There's really nothing this dip isn't yummy on. All right, ready to finish off my appetizer tray, and I'm just going to add a little bit more lemon juice. Probably put in about 2 more tablespoons. Just to get it a little bit thinner. So that I've got a nice little dip for the plain veggies. And we'll just stick that in there. Still got a nice consistency, but way smoother. Stick in our little spoon. We've still got that one last little parsley waiting to be used. And a few more chives. And there you have it. My garden fresh herbed cream cheese appetizer tray. As you can see, this is a very versatile recipe with many uses. Thank you, Philadelphia cream cheese.